Hi everybody, I don't know if anybody is here, but I see that there is an ad break coming in about a minute. So, if anybody's here, say hi. Make sure that the audio, it looks like the audio is up, and it looks like the camera is up. But if you can see and hear me and you're here, let me know. I started a little bit early because since the ad will be starting in 20 seconds now, I thought I'd get that over with sooner than right when I start at 11 o'clock. So, I have a cup of tea here with me. I just made a cup of Tivana. I don't think I have any subscribers. Is it Giriana? Hello. Thank you for first time chatting. You might be in a commercial. You might be in a commercial break. So I'll keep chatting because I'm not sure how long the commercial break is going to be, but I do have my cup of tea here. It's a cup of Tivana. Tivana is one of my favorite tea companies that doesn't really exist the way it used to. Ad break in progress. Ads end in 1 minute and 24 seconds, I guess. Tell me what ads they are because I haven't really streamed that much. Last time I streamed was in the summer, in like July or August. Quite a long time ago. But yeah, I'm having a cup of Earl Grey with little hints of citrus and lavender because it's tasty. Ad break ends in 48 seconds. I decided to get a whole box of it. We went to... No commercial for you. Okay, good. It could be one of those that they have off on one of the sides, or if you're on a computer, they show differently than they do on a tablet or a phone or whatever. But yeah, Tivana used to be one of my favorite stores at the mall. I still have huge tins. Of course, some of them have tea, which is probably bad, and I haven't even drank it. But it used to be my favorite store. It was where I went to go to get off of coffee, which lasted probably about until when the Tivana stores stopped existing. But yeah, this is one of my favorite teas that they had. Another one of my favorites was called Pear Luna. It was a white tea, lighter than a green tea, they call it a white tea, and it had candied pear and pineapple pieces in it, and it was so good. It even had Egyptian chamomile flowers in it. It was such a good tea, such a good tea. But this is what we're having today, and I do have in this pile here, actually this one right here, I do have it's a tea journal, like a tea and coffee notebook in there, and so I'm gonna put that in there sometime. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff on my desk. I've been thinking about what I want to use for 2024, and some of the stuff I used for 2023, some of the stuff I tried to use for 2023. Ooh, cat hair. And some of the stuff, yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But when I think about what I've used the most for 2023, I did do a Techo Kaigi when we did the Techo Kaigi train for the brew team last year. I have it on my YouTube channel. Maybe when I'm done with streaming today, I can link it below. I don't think I saved it to my Twitch channel. I might be able to link it there because all I did was download and save the live stream because we did them really quick last year, like half hour on to the next person. It was quite an event for sure. That is such a good tea. If you have a beverage, enjoy it. But when I think about the way I started the year, I had a Passport Traveler's Notebook, I had a Standard Traveler's Notebook, I had this Midori MD book. You can even see the Techo Kaigi sticker and some stuff. I had this going. I had multiple sketchbooks. I had this going. But the things that I used the most, I went through about 2 or 3 sketchbooks. They're kind of like filed away now, but I used quite a few of those. In here, I used my Traveler's Notebook, and these were the main 2 things that I used this year. And I went down from a passport size. I was in, I think it was my brown Midori Traveler's Notebook. And then I eventually went down to this tiny little nano, I think this is by Chic Sparrow. I have many of these in green leather and brown leather, and I've got one in purple, and I think one in like a nude leather that I've used for many years that it is brown. But this is like, for me, this is like the perfect wallet. It's a Traveler's Notebook. The inserts inside are 3 inches by 4 inches. So they're quite a tiny little insert. Like here's, let me turn that away. Raven, hello. Hello, thank you for joining us. I decided to go a little early because I had the streaming soon screen on, and then it said what's it called? An ad break was happening soon, and so I went, I'll just go live now to get that over with. But this is my monthly calendar that I created, that I've been using in my teeny tiny little notebook here. And then I have in it also a dot grid notebook that I made where I keep, like, you know, grocery shopping lists. And I've been keeping track of inflation. Some watercolors, just a bunch of little sketches, some cartoons that I used to watch as a kid, a Russian movie. I was keeping a list of Russian horror movies. And that was one by Nikolai Gogol. And then I'm cutting down some inserts. Whole letter E. Thank you for stopping by. First time in the chat. It's probably not your first time in the chat. It's just, it has been such a long time that I have streamed that, that it thinks everybody's a first time chatter. So this is my everyday carry. It's a Chic Sparrow. I did an unboxing of this maybe a week or 2 ago. It was my, like, I don't know what they called their, eyeballs twitch. Yeah. Um, I guess they call it their Black Friday or Thanksgiving sale or whatever they call it, where they had, you could get up to 50% off depending on what the items you were getting were. I got this. You've been watching your YouTube also. Nano is too small for me. Yeah, it is. It's really small for lots of people. For me, this is like, it's for my everyday carry, all I really need. If I'm, going to like a symphony rehearsal or something and someone asks me if I'm available for a weekend or a concert or a rehearsal or to teach a student, I can pull up the month and see what I have on that day. And then what I can do is I can, write it down in my grid or dot grid notebook and then get back with them. So that way for me, it's more of just like a little shopping list. Like I do have, I think I had a Trader Joe's shopping list in here from the other day. And then, some watercolor. I think that ended up becoming a Patreon video, how to make Payne's Gray. Chic Sparrow, yeah, it was like Black Friday sale, half off. And I've got some little sketches in here. But, for me, it's just a quick little on-the-go calendar where I keep, all my driver's license and stuff up here and cash, and sometimes I have like a check in there in case I need to have a check for something. But what I got on that Black Friday sale were this and this. So they've only been in my collection for a couple of weeks, maybe that long, 2 weeks. But this is a beautiful, like kind of a burgundy color weather. Yes, it's a tiny calendar. It's not meant to be like, well, I mean, I guess you could use it as a working calendar. Like there's July, it's 4 inches, and then when it's fully extended, it's like 6 inches. So it's the size of a small photo. When you used to go to the store to get photos printed, little 4x6 photo. But when it's folded in half, it's 3 wide and 4 high. Yeah, and it's perfect. I mean, it just, especially because it's this like really nice polished waxed leather, it just slides right into your pocket. For me, in my front pocket, and I can even put my phone under the elastic and away I go. It's a great little thing. And then sometimes when I'm out and about, I take a little nubbin of a pencil that I have. Yeah, less weight and space for sure. You're wondering if that could work for you as an everyday carry. I don't do well with having my calendar with me. Yeah, like I can't carry this. This won't fit in my pocket. And this is like my planner. But I can have everything that's on the monthly in here. And then, one of my versions of this micro calendar has 2 pages of what you can see like dot grid after each month. So if you needed to, you could write down date specific items, but also this teeny tiny little nub of a pencil can just fit right there with it. And it's perfect. Or if you're afraid of losing the pencil, you can, fell out. Put it in the center. But I love it. I've been using these nanos. Oh, the insert is actually one that I make myself. It's a Planning with John insert. Did I put the micro on my Patreon? I know I put the Passport, the Pocket TN, and the standard size on my Patreon. I have a tab where there's like, you can become like a free member of my Patreon, and there's some posts that you see, like my YouTube posts and things like that. And I offered a free calendar in various sizes. I'll check to see if I put the micro up there, but I can definitely add that to it. The thing is, no one ever uses this size except for me. So I didn't have anyone ask for it, so I don't remember if I posted it or not. But for me, it is, perfect on the go, because this is like later today when I go to the grocery store. I just have to take this in my phone and my keys, and that'll fit my pocket. Yeah, it's a great little thing to have. I'm gonna put the pencil away so I don't lose it. But these pencils are, if you go to my Patreon, I think it's like patreon.com/planningwithjohn. There's like a free tier which basically it allows you to like follow to see if some things get posted. And I do have my Passport, my Pocket TN, and my Standard TN basic monthly calendar up there. I'll upload the micro calendar and get that up there so everybody can see it. Kate says, or Red Harp Arts, during the beginning months of the pandemic, I converted to field note size. Documented journey covers wallet. Yeah, those are so light and durable and washable and incredibly sturdy. I have a Passport right here that I have something in it that I might use next year. I haven't decided. But yeah, the smaller sizes that work as a wallet are so good. Like here's a field note size. They're all quite compact. Like if you have like a small bag, like the Pocket or the field notes or the Passport fit really well. Since I don't, I just have my pants or my jacket. This fits in there a little bit better than the slightly larger size. So the main thing I used this year was this little tiny nano right here and my standard size. And I used a variety of covers. I used some... Yeah, a lot of people didn't carry a big bag because there were so many rules about what you could have with you, what you couldn't have with you, and all of those shenanigans. But I used a lot of different covers. I used some of my Traveler's Company, my Midori. I used some Foxy Fixes, this Chic Sparrow. I've used some of my older Chic Sparrows. I used cork covers by Brie. You name it, I've used it. And I've had a lot of different monthly calendars. I started the year in my calendar, but I printed it on the really, 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 really thin original Tomoe River paper. And I have a love affair and a hate relationship with Tomoe River paper. It makes fountain pen ink and watercolor beautiful. But if you're just writing down your, monthly to-dos or your bills or like what I carry around, like the music that I'm performing, throughout the month, Tomoe River paper can be a little fussy. So I got, I printed my weekly inserts and I printed my monthly inserts and I got kind of fed up with them. So I printed just a basic monthly calendar. This is a Ray Blake calendar. I used my calendar for a good 3 months. I think I used it through March. We had to go to Michigan to see my dad, and then we had my uncle's funeral and then my dad's funeral. So I thought that was a good time as any to get a new calendar. Yeah, that was crazy. So I switched out of that, and I just printed this insert on like basic photocopy paper, just HP or Office Depot, whichever we have, and it's like, I think it's like 24-pound bright white laser paper. That's all this is, and this is just a basic monthly calendar on 2 pages, and I used it for most of the year. I started putting Post-it notes in. Here we are now in December. This is this one is actually a 2-year calendar, and so here's December, and then we go straight into January, February, and I've got concerts scheduled all the way until May 2024. I do know that in June and July I've got like 5, maybe 6 concerts, and I think it's like the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, the 25th, the 9th, and the 16th. I think those are the dates of my concerts. But so I used a monthly calendar. This is my weekly calendar. It's a week on a page with grid. Originally I had it printed on that really thin Tomoe River paper, but it became overwhelming. I was always putting blotting paper in, and if I forgot my blotting paper, it would, smear onto the next page. So I printed this on just basic photocopy paper, and all I did was use a Pentel Energel brown pen. And you'll see most of everything in here is just pen on paper. Just pen on paper. Keeping track of where I need to go, my weekly to-do lists, notes. I did start putting a couple of stickers in, Post-it notes. Let's see what else. Now I did get 2 new inks. I went to a black pen, I think because I ran out of brown ink. Post-it notes, a couple of stickers, a couple of my stickers from Patreon, some more of my stickers, some more stickers. So towards the end of the year, more stickers have made their way in here. Here we are that was last week. Here's this week. Since Hanukkah's this week and last week, I used some of my stickers that I made just to kind of make it look a little more festive. And so this was like my main planner, my main planning system. And then just a one of my grid inserts that I make just for taking notes, and when I was planning my calendars for my Patreon, planning out what goes on what page. So when I assemble it in what is that app? Adobe InDesign, I can make sure that it prints correctly, the correct page on the front, the correct page on the back. And then like this was what my patrons got this month. And then planning for next month. And then, you know, just some extra blank pages. So that was my main planning system for the year. My standard TN and my Nano. And I tried lots of different things. I used Passport. I used my Slimbo wallet. And this I've been using kind of as like, you know, just like little journaling. Just using lots of different fun gel pens and fountain pen colors that I normally don't use in my day-to-day planning. Like, I haven't used it since December 5th. You know, today is what, the 12th? So it's not a daily thing. And then they also have sketchbooks. So I ordered a set of these. And so I've been doing some sketching in it just to kind of see how the paper holds up to different pens and pencils. And then I did some, this I did for Patreon. A friend of mine up in Canada sent me, she had some inks that she wanted me to see what I thought. And there's some really pretty colors here. Like, I love this one, the Ferris wheel press. It's called Peter Moss. And then this one is an Airbine. And it's got like sort of a little glitter sheen to it. Lord Sparkle Shorts, hello, hello. So this is something that I pulled back out. I started using at the beginning of the year when I was trying to decide between Passport, Nano, and the Slimbo wallet. I love your sketchbook where you just test pens and stuff. Yeah, I think, you know, it's a sketchbook. It's meant for, you know, just processing stuff. And, you know, like that would be a really pretty color to do some sketching with. Or, you know, it reminds me that I have these inks, and if I'm not going to use them in a fountain pen, you know, there's other ways I could use them. You know, like if I'm, you know, like drawing toast like Ohaijoy does, I think a slightly watered down version of this diamine would look really pretty, like the crust on a toast. Or a croissant or something like that. So this is really what I used this year, plus sketchbooks. I think this is like the 4th sketchbook that I've started this year, which for me is a lot. Because I don't sketch every day. I did at the beginning of the year start doing that. And it's funny, like, I created this notebook here. Oh, there's one of my little watercolor skies that I did. And I have in here like a couple of, like, I've drawn some little birds that I'm gonna watercolor, but I haven't done anything with. I created this, I had Bree make this for me, this cover. And I made a watercolor insert with like double-sided watercolor paper, hand stitched it, and then I have this sketchbook from Field Notes, and it's like the large one. And I started to doodle you can't even see it, a mermaid. I did like a bottle and some pumpkins and some leaves, and I was thinking of doing a pumpkin and have it like kind of like Halloween colored. It ended up being something that I did digitally that my patrons got in October. But the idea started here. And then I stopped because I felt too precious with this, you know, because I mean, it's a Field Notes notebook. I mean, it's not fancy, but, you know, it has Chicago on it. There's the L, and, you can see, Michigan Avenue. And so I was feeling precious about it. And so I have a ton of these because, like Amazon, you place an order and you get like 4 of them. And, so I've used these for, drawing my pumpkins, and I got some brush pens, and I was going through my colored pencils, and these are all of my mild liners. I did some fallish items and some brush pen testing, and this was a tutorial for Patreon that I kind of did a sped up and voiced over on YouTube. I was doodling with a new fountain pen. That's kind of a weird face, so I stopped. I'm not good with faces. Just some colored pencils. I think those were Prismacolor Coal Erase. Yeah, Coal Erase pencils. And then I got to a rehearsal early, and I had some colored pencils with me, so I just did this was in the middle of October, so I did some Halloween-inspired doodles, which, some of these things would become stuff for Patreon eventually. I love that. I called it the Eye of Newt Martini. Little feathers and pumpkins with witches' hats and brooms and little mushrooms. There's an ad break soon, so at least it says there's an ad break. Yeah. Tell me what ads you get if you can. Are they working this time, the ads? Or maybe they won't show because I've haven't updated my software on my OBS. Oh. So there's that. It says only visible to me. Ads break in progress. Is the music, if you can hear me, is the music loud enough or too loud or? And then here's just some more pencil sketches that I did with a YouTube video. I had a company send me some pencils that I tried and did some doodling. Yep. So I plan on finishing this book. I tested some colored pencils. This was a tutorial for Patreon, I think. Yeah. And then I had filmed this for Patreon, but I had too much stuff on my phone, so I hit start and didn't even bother checking, and sketched it aloud and was talking, and then got colored pencils out, and there you go. And it didn't record any of it, so that was exciting. So that's mainly what I used last year, were these few items. And all of these other things were used in some way, like this as a sketchbook that I want to pull back out. This right here is a Midori MD notebook. I actually started it in June of 2021, and I would think I was using it to track my streams. Some journaling, journaling about my birthday and playing a concert with Wynton Marsalis on my birthday and testing some watercolors. I think I doodled this in a Twitch stream and then, yeah, talked about it. I was doing some research on tiny houses, and this would be our perfect size and layout, and more journaling, and then eventually it became a this was from a Mindy Lacefield class, and just, you know, journaling and when orders would come in, and oh, like this. Where was that? I think it's back one. I created my Planning with John logo back in 2021. Wow, that was a long time ago. Just some doodles, bunch of orders and stuff from Judy, and an order from Traveler's Company, and a friend sent me flowers, and that was the photo I took the day that I was journaling. I do have some tea tags in here, because this was before I started the little tea journal in here. Tested some watercolor pencils, more watercolors. This was mail from Mindy Lacefield. These are her scratch and sniff stickers. This one smells like a taco. This one smells like, I think, strawberry. No, like a cherry cake and pizza, and that one's berry flavored. It's from Job. When I got his washi tape and other stickers. This was from Judy. One of her beautiful collages. That's adorable. That's Seamus when he was a little puppy. What is this? Oh, that was a card from my friend Melissa. That's from last year's brew. So this kind of became a, you know, a little bit of everything, sort of a journal. Lots of stuff in here. Yeah. Oh, this was my dad's, for his funeral. His, I guess you call it, whatever you call it, obituary. There's Seamus. This was a sticker that my patrons got a while ago. So, and then I've got some of my pumpkin stickers and stuff in here that I haven't used. This was last month, no, November, October? No, these were November's stickers. Yeah, November 2023. I started labeling things like that so I could remember when they were. If I have leftovers, I used most of the small versions. I got a postcard here from a friend. This was a little guy that I created a while ago. I think I uploaded him as an emote, but he's not available yet. And then just some journaling. And I plan on finishing this. I want to finish this insert, or this notebook that I have in my Atelier's Penelope. It's the same brand that created this as well. And something that I used a little bit last year was this notebook cover. Oh no, I got water on it when I poured my tea. This is one thing that is so nice about these cork covers. It's dry already. Look at that. Yep, look at that. Totally dry. Nothing inside is wet. Cork is a pretty freaking amazing material. It doesn't, age the same way leather does. I've had this cork cover for a year now, and it can be cleaned and disinfected. Exactly. But did you see that? Look, that was wet. I just wiped it off with this microfiber cloth, and it's dry. It's not wet, not nothing. Like it's dry. It's pretty amazing. But this one fits, oh, there's another one of his obituaries. This one fits composition notebooks. I put that stuff in the back so it's... This one is the one that I've been using for my, that was something my patrons got in the spring, maybe March? I can't remember. Maybe April? I don't know. I started this in 2022, I think? Yeah. I started doing the artist way. And then had to put it down because schedules and things like that. And then I started it back up again. And then, was doing well with it. And then, got... how do you say, distracted with it. I even tested watercolors on it because this is just a cheap one that I got from Walmart. And so I've doodled with lots of different pens. I guess the last time I was in here was November. November of this year, which is a lot sooner than I thought. But I'm still going to use this notebook for, any of that type of like artist way type journaling. I've got, I think, like 3 or 4 of these, and I'm going to use what I have. I have them. I have this beautiful cover. I'm going to use it. And then the other thing that I barely used this last year was, here's my Pocket TM calendar, where I've got my schedule written on. I don't know if I put everything in it. Yeah, like I don't have December filled out or November. I barely have October filled out, so I think I stopped using this towards the summer. Yeah, because like September is not even really filled out other than concerts. This was an insert I started using back in 2019. I created something in 2016, 2017. It was no spend, low spend. And what I did is I tracked all of the money that I used in anything stationery wise. So I would track, and some months it'd be $348.39, $153, $311, $199. It'd be anything planner related. $157, $115, $128. And I wasn't. You can see there's lots of videos nowadays on YouTube, people talking about consumerism, materialism, and all of that type of stuff. I never was doing this to have people do what I was doing. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. I never wanted people to do this. I was just doing it as an experiment, you know, so I could see where's my money going. And I can see that, like, I spent a lot of money on, well, I mean, I used to own over like 150 Traveler's notebooks, so I know my money went there. You know, or ring planners like Filofaxes, and I do have one Vander Spec. It's a beautiful notebook cover, but it's pocket rings, and I probably will never use it ever again. So here I've got this beautiful black noir. I think they call it Touch Me Noir. It's like a really soft leather. I'm never ever probably gonna use. So chic sparrows and washi tapes and, you know, all of that type of stuff. I was just wanting to track to see what I was spending my money on. And I do notice that when I have like this, too many options, too many choices, it's very easy for me to get distracted and then to be overwhelmed and not end up not using anything. Does that make sense? Yeah, so like, that's why I even set this aside, even though I do have this, you know, I mean, I have it set up like I could use it as my planner. I've got like tracker stickers, I've got a monthly calendar, I've got a notes insert in here, I've got a wallet insert, a folder, a Pilot G2 pen, here's my T tag. Yeah, see, I haven't used this since 2022. Well, actually, I think I glued in this year. But like, I haven't used it, and it's in this cute little chic sparrow. They used to call it Mr. Darcy leather toffee, and then it was like the edges were like, they took like a black dark brown dye to the edges to kind of distress it. And so I think they called it a oh, who's that writer? He wrote A Farewell to Arms. What is his name? Does anybody out there know? What is his name? Hemingway. Yes. Thank you. Is that Mr. West 75? Thank you, first time chatter. Hemingway. I think they called this the Hemingway leather because it, you know, was rugged, and it's, I don't have many chic sparrows left. I let go of a lot of them. I have like my little nanos. I've got that one standard. I've got a couple of pockets. I have a single elastic pocket, and then like a pen, like one that holds my fountain pens, and that's it. But you know, like when I have all of these options, it's too much for me. So letting go of all of that stuff, I've been de-stashing art supplies and notebooks and leather covers and even like sheet music. Some stuff I've got multiple copies of. I've been like, not like KonMariing, but yeah, kind of KonMariing. And it's just to, I notice when I have only what I truly enjoy using easy at you know, in my fingertip grasp or grip, I end up using it more. But when I have too many options, I end up, you know, a little confused and not know what to do, and then I ended up not using anything and doing something completely else. So yeah, so let's talk what I'm going to use next year. So I have I don't think I'm going to use this. I'm going to have it set on my bookcase with the things because it does have a tea journal in it, but I'm not going to be tracking my spending because I haven't really been spending other than just like that holiday purchase and a couple of replacement inks that I needed. I'm not planning on buying any more cork covers or leather covers. If I want to have a new cover, I actually have a bunch of this cork this cork material. I even have felt and other things. I even have leather. I have stuff I can make my own. So yeah, so that's my intention for this next year is not purchasing any new covers. But if I do, that's fine. But right now, I don't have any intention on doing that. The only impulse purchase that I made this last year, when everybody was having those pre-sales, like, when like Hobonichi does their big announcement, the only thing I did was this. And this is a, what's that called? Sterling ink? Is that the brand? I wish they would. Yes, Sterling ink. This is a Sterling ink common planner in the passport size. When I ordered this, I was using passport size a lot more. And with this brand, it was pretty much, you have to order it right then and there. Otherwise, you might not be able to get one. And I was using passport. I hadn't gone back into my little Nano. I had downsized from my Slimbo wallet. And it has what I like in a passport. It has a week on 2 pages. It has all of the months at the beginning, a month on 2 pages. It has all of this grid. There's no writing on it like a Midori or a Hobonichi. It's just grid. It's a Monday start. I love Monday starts. It has all of this stuff at the beginning for tracking. And then it has, like here, you can see a week on 2 page. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And an extra space down here for tracking, planning, notes, whatever you need it for. And then at the very end, and it has the whole year in here. Yeah. So here's the end of December. And then to the beginning of January, the way it falls next 2025. And then it has all of these pages of grid at the back for notes, for collections, for whatever you need, for journaling, for whatever. And I don't think I'm going to use it. Because I had purchased this, I didn't buy anything Hobonichi-wise, and I wasn't planning on that because, the last couple of years, I bought for my mother the Hobonichi Weeks. She loves it. She got one that I bought for myself last year, and like halfway through like February, I'm like, I hadn't even opened the Hobonichi Weeks, so I just mailed it to her, and she's like, oh my gosh, I was looking for a new calendar, and she loved it, so she used it. So we got her another one this year for the Hanukkah holiday season. She got it actually before Hanukkah, but it was in a pretty purple color, so she has one for next year. And I don't use the Cousin or the A5, A6. I don't use either of those. So this was the only thing that I bought. And I'm probably not going to use it. So, I spent $30 on this. I think it was $30. Does anyone remember how expensive these were? I know also because of shipping, it seems kind of $35? $40? How much was it? I don't remember, but it was kind of pricey. So it fits in this cover by Brie, and like this is an old Foxy Fix. Like when I unboxed it, I showed it fitting in the back pocket, or if you had like an Aura Estelle cover, it would fit in there. But I don't think I'm going to use it. So this is why I've been more mindful of my shopping since this summer. The Sterling Ink Planner has been tempting me, but I have too many things for next year. Yeah, you know, it tempted me too. I bought it, and now it's probably going to sit on the shelf like this. I could use it for, like, I don't even know what paper it is. Is it one of the newer iterations of, see, it feels like Tomoe River paper, and I have a love-hate affair with Tomoe River paper. So I'm probably not going to use it because of that fact. Oh, here, let me put this jump band I created in here. So I'm not going to use it. And so that made me really think hard about what am I going to use, what am I not going to use, because I don't want to do like what I've done in previous years. And it's not because, you know, I don't like buying stationery, I don't like supporting the stores. I do. It's just, so I got it, and now it's, you know, I got it, and it's just going to sit there with, you know, like these on the shelf, just waiting. So what I'm planning on doing for next year, I'm going to still have this if I need it, for like any long form journaling, or if I just need a place to just vent and write stuff down, it's going to go into a composition notebook, because these are ones I got at Walmart for like 59 cents or something like that. I've got a stack of them, and I can, you know, take them to my parents' property and use them as kindling if I don't ever want to see them again. You know, when we start a bonfire or whatever, or can shred them and put them in the chicken coop. Excuse me, I got a hiccup. I probably won't do that because of there's watercolor on it, but you know, definitely could be used as kindling for setting a bonfire. Like I had said earlier, I did create some calendars this year. Here's the new micro one for 2024. It's a teeny tiny little calendar that will replace the one that I have in here. And it's a little month on 2 pages. And I think I started filling out my symphony schedule in it. But it's a little month on 2 pages with the 2 extra pages of dot grid after each month. And then even at the end of it, you've got December, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. One of them does have the my logo on it. And I just printed it on, you know, 24, 26 pound copy paper, nothing fancy. So I will be using that in here, and all I will have will be the monthly calendar for next year and a dot grid or a grid insert or a blank insert, just something for notes and stuff on the go. And actually this will fit in here right now, but it's not really needed. So if I did need to put an extra insert in there, it would fit. I did make passport calendars because that's something that I do for my patrons. And if I do go back into the passport size, so there's the basic one that like my YouTube viewers and everybody on the free tier gets, where all it is just a month on 2 pages. And it's, you know, just a simple monthly passport calendar. It's a nice size. And, you know, it doesn't have any writing. It doesn't have any of those extra calendars. So this is the free one that everybody gets if they go there. And then this is the one if you're a patron in any of the tiers, passport or higher, like the money tiers, where it'll have the 2 pages of dot grid, and then the month, 2 pages, and then the month. And it's the exact same monthly calendar that's in here that just has the extra dot grid that's in the print up. So I have those just in case I go back into passport, already printed, ready to go. And then here are the same thing in the pocket TN size. Here's the free one that has just the months. March, and there's April and May. We'll go to the middle. There's July. And it's, you know, just there are 2 pages of dot grid at the end, notes pages. I think the passport's that same way too. It just actually says notes, there's no dot grid. I went a little bougie on that one, I guess. And then for the patrons that pay for one of the tiers, it's the exact same calendar, except you got the extra dot grid pages in between. Looks like there's going to be an ad break soon. Let me know if there is an ad break or if I have something set wrong, because I don't ever remember there being this many ad breaks. Or are they doing that because it's December? So, there's this. The entire month, the year. I'm going to take a drink of my water. Getting a little thirsty. I just realized I've been talking for an hour. But this is good for me to kind of plan out my thoughts. I do want to do a YouTube video on all of this. I do want to do a YouTube video, but I guess we'll wait for a couple of seconds. I have a drink of my tea too. Okay, did you get an ad? Were there ads? Were there not any ads? Did you see me drink my water or hear me drink my water? But here's the Pocket TN calendar. And then, so there are those. Pocket, Passport, Micro. And then, this is the Ray Blake monthly planner, which I linked these in a post on my Patreon. He does them like 2 years in a go. So this is 2024 and 2025. So you'll have, you know, 2 whole years if you print and download this one. But what I created for my patrons, I have in here. This is an old Foxy Fix notebook. Let me set these aside so I don't spill on them. This is an old Foxy Fix notebook that I've had probably since 2019, since before COVID and all of that stuff. It's a single elastic. It's in this leather they called Rowena, which is very similar to an old Chic Sparrow outliner called, what was it? Jitney Red is what they called it. Very similar to that. And I've got some of my writing boards in it. Here's one. And I have two of them, so I put them in here just to give it a little more structure. But I have my monthly planner with the 2 pages of dot grid and then the monthly calendar. You can see the dot grid. And I sometimes use these to track like bills or these post-it notes. Keep track of my performing, and used to keep track of my teaching schedule, but I retired from teaching, so I don't have to do that anymore. Or I'm taking a break, let's put it that way. So this is going to be my monthly planner, and I just printed it on, Office Depot, HP, bright white laser printer paper that's like 24 to 26 pounds. And then this is one of the items that my patrons in the VIP tier get. This is my weekly planner, and it's just a very, very, very simple, basic dated planner. I did give, sometime last year, this as an undated, so you can print it and use it, but since the dating of it, I prefer having something dated than undated, because what I've noticed is when I add like the days and the dates, like manually, like with a pen or stickers or whatever, I always inevitably mess something up. And then I'll get like halfway through the planner and everything will be off by like a day or two. And so that's why I like using this one, because I've already created it in the computer and it helps me notice when I get off a date. And so it's basically just a week on a page and then dot grid. And then these are post-it notes that I use for tracking. So we have that. And then I have in here a Traveler's Company folder. And you're looking at it going like, but it looks like it's inside out. It is inside out, and there's a reason for that. This is a Cosmo Airlight dot grid that I have on this side. It's a Taroko Shop Cosmo Airlight, but the reason I have this folded this way is I have in here, this is an insert from Marcia Bramucci, and it is her day on a page. And what I had noticed when I was using my standard TN this year, I was doing like day on a page stuff in a dot grid or a grid notebook, and then I was also doing like just general notes and stuff like that. And what I noticed is I was going through a lot of these inserts because it had everything in it, like any notes, any thoughts, any research, any lists, anything like that was in them, along with my, Tuesday, December 12th tasks, mixed up in them, kind of like bullet journal style, but it was an insert that had, like 60, 64 pages, not a lot. So, I have like 5 or 6 of these for the year. And I don't need to have mixed up with like important notes that I need, like if I'm working on an article or if I'm, doing some thoughts for a future project, recording, or like an educational material that I'm working on. I'm using this time, to do some some projects that I've wanted to do without when I'm not teaching this year and from years to come. There's some things that I've wanted to work on, and I'd rather have all of that stuff self-contained in an insert and not spread through my like daily to-dos. So I downloaded and printed Marsha's Day on a Page, and this is where I can do, keep track of like, to-dos or tasks that I need, and then even maybe a little bit of daily journaling. And these are, since it's a day on a page, you can see there's like this monthly to-do list, so you can, say you need to have your filters changed, or you need to have an oil change, or, there's like a certain bill that happens every January. You can have that on here. And then you can have your day on a page for whatever you need. And it just goes page by page, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. And then there's 2 months in each insert that you print. So then, this will only have January and February. And it's just, if all it is tracking my, to-dos and a little bit of journaling, I can decide on a month-by-month basis, do I need to keep it? Is there something in there I do need to keep? I can rip it out and put it in another place. Or if there isn't, I can recycle it. I can shred it and recycle it. But because this is a single elastic notebook, and I already have 3 inserts in here, I've got this one on the main elastic, these 2 looped together with another elastic underneath it. What you can do is take, this is how the folder normally goes, and most people just, put an insert around it and then stick it in your elastic. But something I've been doing is you can fold your folder like where it's folder sides out. And kind of the way years ago, there was a planner person in Australia. She created a 6-pocket folder. And this is like part of that is, she took like a ledger file folder and made a 6-pocket, tri-folding folder. And what you can do then is take a cover, and I'm putting it towards the back, where you put the front cover inside the folder. And if you wanted to put another insert in, you could put another insert here. And then you just fold it up, and you see you have 4 inserts in there. Now, what's nice about it is this insert is like a daily insert. So, you could spend more time in this one. So it's nice that you can pull it out very easily and then put it back in. And you've got it all self-contained. If you don't have a folder, and say you do have a traveler's notebook like this that has a secretarial pocket, you could take the back folder and slide it in the secretarial pocket. Here, we'll take the folder out. And that will hold it that way too. Either way works. Or if you just want to keep it like this, put the folder back around that insert just to have. So there's so many ways that you can use your traveler's notebook. So these are going to be my main planners for next year. I'm using a standard traveler's notebook and my little nano, my little micro inserts that I make. I'm thinking this will be perfect for what I need. I'm also going to be, let me get my tea out of the way. I'm also going to be using, for everything crashes down, a sketchbook. Just a simple basic sketchbook. So we've got a sketchbook, my planner, and my little Nano. Now, of course, the contents inside are going to stay the same. The covers could change. You know, I might choose that I still want to use this one that I just started using this month. And who knows, I might add pockets to it, adhesive pockets. I might decide to stitch some pockets in. I haven't decided, you know, how I want to use this. But one thing that I thought was really interesting is when Chic Sparrow first started making their traveler's notebooks, I have two still. They're in a pile, in a bin. They made them with the elastic coming out of the back. The only company that really makes them with the elastic coming out of the back is the Traveler's Company. And so I think this comes what they call a starter kit. It comes with a plastic dashboard. It comes with like a grid or a dot grid insert. And then it comes with the cover. And one thing that's unique to this one is it's a single elastic, but notice how they still have that split up here, like the Traveler's Company offers. It's very interesting, isn't it? Because most Chic Sparrows, like this one, the elastic comes off of the spine, and see how it has 4 elastics. This is a little bit wider than a Midori Traveler's Notebook. Maybe a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. So it fits so much stuff in it. Like you can see, there's still lots of space. There's no overhang. I don't have much in here. I'm not one of those that like crams my notebooks full of stuff. I've got 1 insert, 2 inserts, a writing board, a folder, some of my stickers here, a 3rd insert, and another writing board. Like, I don't have a lot of stuff. Mrs. G's, how are you doing? Yeah, we've been talking planners and what worked for me last year, what didn't work for me. I have a huge pile of stuff over here that didn't work for me. And, you know, what I'm using now is, it will really surprise you. This is what I've been using. A sketchbook, a standard Traveler's Notebook, and a Nano Traveler's Notebook. That's all I've been using since June, July, and it's been quite nice. I've sold a lot of my Traveler's Notebooks. I even sold some of my Midoris. I sold a couple that said Midori. I know Kate that's here bought one. Yes, I know. I think I sold like 40. So I'm only down to having like 50 or 60. I know. That's still a lot. It's still a lot. But and you know, the only reason I'm doing it is I have like, what is it called? Decision fatigue, I think is what it's called. Yeah, I know. Remember when I had like 200 or so Traveler's Notebooks? Yeah, and it's crazy. I'm in Foxy Fixes and Chic Sparrows. I've kind of went almost full circle. I was back in my Midoris, and now I'm back in Foxy Fixes and Chic Sparrows. Do you have any A5 size? I have one A5, and it's a single elastic like a Midori. It has like the little clasp and everything. It's like a brown Midori. Oh, what is the name of that company? They've had a couple of names over the years, but I think it might say like Asian Vintage on the back of it. I think it's the only A5. I have an A5 cork. cover that I'm not using by Brie. It's in this honey brown that's really pretty. And then I think the only other A5 thing I have is this. It's the Atelier's Penelope, where I have the journal I started back in 2021. If you can believe that. Still not finished, still not full. Oh, some of my stickers from Patreon from November. I think I got rid of all of the A5. I do have an A5, what is it? It's a Filofax. It's an A5 Filofax in the ochre mold, and it's a 6th ring, like a 6 rings. Yeah, that I'm not using. I got a couple of B6, what are they called? Print Pressions? Yeah, send me a message. I'll pull it out and I'll take some photos of it and I'll just send it to you. I used it when I did have a bullet journal, but it's been just sitting in a pile. It's really pretty. It's this dark honey color, and the inside I think is the cork pockets are the same honey color, but like the felt on the inside is black. It's really pretty, and the honey are like one of the ones that tend to be like really soft, and they're like waterproof. Now, if you get like here, if I have this one here, if you get water on what's inside, that's not waterproof. But it's it doesn't have a pocket on the front. It has just the honey color, like the honey brown cover, and it has like the folders are the same, but the felt on the inside is I think it's black. And it's all like they're like all sustainable. The this felt is made from recycled plastic water bottles. So it's like kind of like earth friendly because they don't have to cut down the tree in order to make the cork for the cover. So they're really, really, really amazing. Yeah. But what I'm using next year is a simple sketchbook. I might use, where is it? When I finish, I've got like 2 or 3 of these. Because this is what I really realized. COVID made people not hoard things, but, because things were sparse. And so, I'd place an order and I'd order 4 of these. I mean, it takes me a while to go through a sketchbook, but I've gone through 4 this year. And I think I've got like 2 more of these. So I'm going to use those. But then once I use those, maybe I'll jump back into these inserts that I've made, or my field notes ones. I'm all for keeping it simple. Yeah, and I like these because I know it's not, it's U.S. Art Supplies. That's the brand. I mistakenly bought these last year thinking that because they look exactly like a Strathmore sketchbook. Brown, they've got a sketching on it. It says sketch, the same number of sheets. The only thing is, this had like on the Amazon page, it didn't say U.S. Art Supplies. It had like like something over it that showed like the poundage of the paper or something like that, or like 4 included or whatever. And so I thought I was getting Strathmore sketchbooks, and they weren't. They were this brand. But, it's just sketchbook paper. So I don't feel precious with it. You know, I'll just watercolor right in it, do marker swatches, do some pencil doodles, do some colored pencils, some more. So I don't feel precious in them, and I use them however I want to. If the page totally bleeds through, oh well, it totally bleeds through. No big deal. It's just a simple sketchbook. So I'm going to use those. I've got my standard planner with my inserts for next year, my monthly, and these are my Planning with John, my weekly. I'm going to try this, see how I like it. Cosmo Airlight dot grid. And then a day on a page for notes and to-dos and stuff like that, if I need more space. And that's what I'm going to use. And in here, I'm just going to have, that's my new monthly that I printed. My monthly and some dot grid for notes and grocery lists. So from that whole pile of stuff down to these three things. A simple sketchbook, my planner, and my wallet. Oh, and I'm using like the pens I have. I've stopped buying pens. So I have in here, get that out of there. I pulled out my jelly rolls. Now, actually, this is a new jelly roll pen, this one right here. It's one of the new clickers. But I pulled out my old jelly rolls. I think I've got another one in here. I've got a brown, a burgundy, and a blue. I have so many of these mild liners. I have all of the sets. And I even have like half of them in brush pens. And these are the only two I use. The olive and the neutral brown. This is a Pentel Energel. And it's just one of their like heavier pens. And I've got a black 04 in here. I have a Tool ballpoint pen. It says fine on it there, but here, let me get that out. I just saw that was a glare. But I think this is like a 1 point, so I wouldn't consider that fine. I'd call that like medium. But this is the pen I loan people when they want to borrow a pen. So that way, if I don't get it back, I'm not worried about it. It's a nice pen, but it's just a Tool ballpoint pen that I got on clearance. I have a Pilot Dr. Grip Gel, and this just has a Pilot G2 in it. Bringing you on the walk with us. Yay! How's the puppy doing? I have a Ticonderoga pencil. It's a great pen. It's, you know, if you have to do a lot of writing, it's a great pen. It's a good size. Ticonderoga mechanical pencil. Let's see. I've got a couple of, this is a Palomino Pearl. These are two little Palomino Blackwing, what are they, 602s? Little nubby pencils. This is a Pure Malt from the Uni Company, but it has a Pentel Energel brown ink in it. I think the brown ink is a 07. It's on the thicker side. And then the last thing I have in my pencil pouch is a Blackwing white eraser. And it does come out. It basically looks like, here, it looks like the eraser in the pen, in their pencil, just ginormous size. Let's see, will this go back in? I don't know if that's how it, I think that's how it goes. And of course, Burt's Beeswax. That's what I have in my pen pouch. I'm gonna put some Burt's Bees on. And so that's what I pretty much carry with me. All the important stuff. That's what I carry with me in this tiny little pouch. This, I was gifted this by a friend and a follower on all of the things. I have this tiny little pen pouch in that mustard yellow color. Here it is. And she had seen it, and I've got some pencil refills for Traveler's Factory and a Blackwing pencil sharpener. She had seen it and liked the color of the green one and the design of it. But then when she saw how tiny it was, she was like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I don't think I can use that. Because it is tiny. It really is. But I love it. And what I have been doing is if I need to take my planner with me, and this is the one that I'm using right now. This one I'll be using next year. Oh, wait, it looks like there's an ad break in the next 24 seconds. 1 minute and 24 seconds. Or it ends. Are we in one now? Let me know if we're in an ad break. Let me see. Let me know if we're in an ad break. If you can hear me, say no. If you can type. I don't. There was an update to OBS, and I'm not sure. When I had it set up before, it didn't tell me when I was in an ad break, so it must be something new. Or if it's something new for December. I'm gonna take a drink. Or is it one of those ad breaks where it's, on the side? Where they sometimes just show like an Amazon ad or whatever. Okay, it says ad break ended. Were we in an ad break? So, like, when I need to take my... Back now. Okay, good. I wasn't sure. That's something new when I did the update the other day. There was an update to OBS. Because I just use basic OBS for this. I think it's OBS. But when I need to take my planner, I just put it in here. And sometimes if I need to, I'll put sticker sheets in here. Here's some of my Hanukkah stickers I created for Patreon this month. Yeah, and this is actually what it was made for. It's made for a Traveler's company. It's the Ateliers Penelope company. Their shop is like around the corner from where the Traveler's Factory is. And this was something that was designed by Baumkuchen. The Baumkuchen shop here in California. And, well, not where I live, but it has this little pouch up here where I do have it says a Blackwing matte pencil and one of their pencil toppers. And so sometimes I'll take what I need out of here and put it in here. So this houses all of the stuff I need on the go. And I think this is one reason why I've maintained standard size so long, is because I do have this, and it does just fit in here, you know, so perfectly. And then I can just throw this in my bag, and, you know, I've got something that will protect my leather cover, so it won't get beat up too badly. And I can put some pens and pencils and markers in there. And then if I do want to carry, you know, I got my wallet or a sketchbook. I mean, that's perfect. Or if I want to take one of these sketchbooks out of here, it will fit in there as well. So it's really convenient. Very, very, very convenient. But that is my Techo Kaigi. I know it was kind of long. I am going to do a shorter version for YouTube that's a little more concise and not too super chatty. I tend to you know, go on and on and on. So, wallet, everyday carry, personal planner, and a sketchbook. That's it. I'm streamlining and making things simple for myself. I'm not saying that some of those other things that I tried last year won't make an occasional reappearance, but I have so much. Oh, thanks, Mrs. G's. It's been a busy, busy year. Like, once the symphony schedule started at the end of August, the beginning of September, I didn't have a weekend free until Thanksgiving week. And then once that happened, I haven't had a weekend free since Thanksgiving week. You know, with nutcrackers and church services. And I had just this past weekend, I had concerts on Thursday, on Friday. I had a rehearsal on Saturday, 2 concerts on Saturday, and then I had 4 concerts on Sunday. So just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I had 4, 5, 6. I had 7 concerts. Then an 8th one on, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Oh, I wanted to show you something, Mrs. G's. You would love this. Look, Hanson, string theory. Who's that? Right there on the CD cover. That's me. On the back cover, at least. Yeah, this came out in 2018. I have it in my CD player. I'm still one of those people that listens to CDs. But I'm not in any of the inside photos because I was seated behind the flutes. We were behind Zach. More behind Isaac, actually. See, there's Isaac. We were, you know, like right in the line of the conductor. Actually, you can see it on that photo. There's Isaac and the flutes. We were like right. Oh, let me do that. So it's Isaac, the conductor, flutes. Yes, actually, he did remember. I didn't have a beard. You'll notice in the videos, there were maybe 6 or 7 videos that they released from this album. And so for those of you that don't know, I play principal flute with the Tulsa Symphony Orchestra, and back in 2018, Hanson was in the midst of working on a new project where they were putting together, would it have been 20 years? Mbop came out in the mid-90s. So it would have been 20 years, at least 20 years, from when that song came out. And they wanted to do a concert of some of their older hits and some new stuff that people don't know. And they wanted to set it with orchestra. And they're from Tulsa. They live in Tulsa. And, you know, they wanted to use Tulsa Symphony and the Performing Arts Center downtown because, you know, it's when they were kids where they would go to concerts. And so, you know, it all got set in motion. And this was a concert that they were going to take on tour. So we pretty much, like, were their guinea pigs, and then filmed a bunch of videos and did a lot of recording, and then they took the concert on tour. And every spring in May, they have this thing that comes to Tulsa called, like, Hanson Days, where they do, like, for a weekend, they do a different concert every day in a different venue in Tulsa. And the last Saturday concert was coinciding with the end of our season, the Tulsa Symphony season at the Performing Arts Center. So, you know, they did those concerts each night, you know, different concert, different place, at all the different theaters downtown. And then on Saturday night, they played our concert. And it was packed. It was packed. And, like, our concert hall seats 2,400 people. They even opened the pit seats where you could get, like, an extra 200 or 300. And, like people wanted tickets for it. Like, there was, like, scalping for tickets that never happens at a Tulsa Symphony concert, but it happened because it was our symphony concert with Hanson. So, yeah. Yes, Mr. Is it West 75? Yes, I'm in Tulsa. And, so my husband and I guess it was last Monday, I had the day off and he got home from work and I didn't have lunch. I had a late breakfast. You live in Ada? Really? That's small world. But yeah, so we went to this place called Chicken and Wolf is what it's called. And it's like a fried chicken place where you get like chicken sandwiches and, you know, chicken tenders and, you know, like a 3-piece. And it's one of the places that has the hottest wings in town. And they're like boneless, which is better. I don't like wings and stuff with the bone. But, so I know better. I know what to order for me. I like spicy food, but I'm not a hot, none of that, you know, like burn your tongue hot type stuff. And so I always order just plain fried chicken, no spice, no heat, no nothing. And, like my husband orders like the medium and it is still hot. But, Isaac and some of his friends, cause it's a small place. There's like maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4 tables and like a little bar. And so, you know, my husband and I were sitting at a little table. And then for Isaac, one of the guys that was responsible for the recording of it, I can't remember his name, and 2 other friends were there, and Isaac had never been there before, and so he ordered like the hottest sandwich because he's like, oh, I can handle heat. And he took one bite and was like, oh wow. And he like started like tearing up, and then one of the other guys was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can eat it. It's too spicy. And so they ended up getting like sandwiches that had like a lot less. They ended up going up and ordering other ones that were not quite as spicy, but they were going to take the really spicy one homes and let their families try the spice to see what they think about it. And it was really funny. It's like, because it's such a small space and, you know, we saw them, and it was funny, and then they started talking to us, and he's like, "Hey, you play with the symphony?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I play with this also symphony," and and like I don't know. I think it's because I play with, like I've played with Leah Salong and Marie Osmond and what's her name, Natalie Merchant, and like I've performed with some, like, big performers. I have photos with some of them I don't, because like when we're doing a concert, I don't want to run up and be like, "Oh, can I get a photo with you? Can I get a photo?" They're a performer, they need their downtime. I don't, but like I was like, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see Isaac Hansen's gonna be. I mean, we don't have any concerts scheduled with them or anything like that. And I was like, Isaac, I know this is silly, but can my husband and I get a photo with you? Can we get a photo with you? Because, I didn't get a photo with them when we were doing, the concerts last year. And, or back in 2018, 2019, I'm not that type of person. Yeah, with someone with the bop all the time. And then it was so funny. I even posted that day you were doing your plan with me on Twitch. I even posted those photos and said, "Look, here's some photos I took when we were recording." And so maybe that did summon it. And so it was, because I normally don't do that. I normally don't ask. Like there was, back in 2009, 2010 maybe, I was flying into Dallas to play a concert and to do some teaching, and I was at the airport at that turnstile or whatever they call that thing, to wait on my luggage, and I saw mine, and I don't ever crowd around where it comes out, where everybody else does. I'm like, I'll just stand towards the back and wait for it to loop around when it's mine, right? And so I saw mine, it looped around, I grabbed it, but it was hard for me to get, and I grabbed it and turned around, and like, here's my face grabbing my bag, and there's a person back here. I turn around, and it's like, we like smack like that, and I'm like, excuse me, Miss Benatar, I'm so sorry. And like, I basically like did that with Pat Benatar. She was at the airport waiting on some of her luggage, and she was just there to point out some of the things that were hers for the roadie to get. And I was just dumbfounded that it was her. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. She's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay." But yeah, so and then I should have at that time asked for a photo, but I had all I had was like a flip phone. So like, it wouldn't even have been like a great photo. It would have been like one of those like 1 point pixel like flip phones. It was before I got a BlackBerry. It was before I got an iPhone. I mean, nowadays with these phones that I'm filming with right now, I mean, you get great photos, but back then it was just some random Verizon flip phone that, horrible photo. It would have been a horrible photo, but yeah, so yeah, interesting. Just a fun story since, we ran into Isaac and some of his friends. Yeah. There was actually one time, probably like a year before we did this project with them. We have a bar downtown, it's a pub. It's called McAllister's. Super grainy pictures. Yeah, don't help see anything. Exactly. A pub called McAllister's, and we went there after a ballet performance. And it's a Sunday, so downtown isn't too busy. Or it wasn't back then. It is now a little bit more. But like all the brothers of Hansen were at the restaurant having a pint. I think it's because they had recently created a new brew for their beer company, and it was in the pub, and they were there to like test samples. Because I remember getting one. It was called Hop. Yes, McNelly's. Sorry, not McAllister's. McNelly's. I don't know why I was saying McAllister's. McNelly's on First Street, right there by the Well, it used to be a chicken place, and before that it was El Guapo, and before that it was just a ratty old building. Next to the barbecue place, what is that? Albert G's, I think. Yeah, it was like they had a new beer, Mhop, and then they had another one that they put on tap. It was it has something to do with their band and another. I can't and a song. Yeah, but like then I didn't ask them for their photo because, I don't want to, they're just out having a meal. I don't need to, get a photo. But so that was my husband had texted me. He's like, I want to get a photo with Isaac. I want to get a photo with Isaac. And I'm like, okay, I'll ask. And I did. And he was so nice and so kind and so willing. He was eating spicy chicken, then he was off to play a gig with some friends in Tulsa. Yeah, just very down to earth. Yeah, it's the husband is why that the photo got taken. Otherwise, I just would have, because it is what it is. But even his friends took a photo because they're like, oh wait, you're the flute player that played. And I said, yeah, I just have a lot of facial hair now. So that's the story of what happened. Yeah. So this is my Techo Kaigi, my system for next year. Sketchbook, standard size traveler's notebook, and a micro-sized notebook. Very simple, very compact. And the covers could change because I've got multiple covers of all of these. But that's what I'm sticking to. Anybody have any questions about the notebooks that I'm using or anything? I was going through one of my pouches and I was marveling at all the clear folders, and look at that, things I have never used. These are the brass clips from the 5th edition. Yeah, his friends took pictures of us with him so they can, I don't know, do with whatever they do with it. And I've got all of my old writing boards. Like, here's one. Here's a folder I bought coffee and notebooks that I've never used. They know I'm a rock star. Stickers that came with that. There's another one of those. This is the train one. Lila, get down. Sorry, Lila's trying to get in stuff. Here's the books one. I have 2 of these because, you buy 2. There's the 10th anniversary. This is the coffee and notebooks. I think this one is this year's. Yeah, 2023. I think it goes with this. I think these ones came out. And then, there's another folder. What else do I have in here? This seems to be the magic stash. Here's a zipper pouch. There's a zipper pouch. See, standard size seems to be what I have the most of. Some dashboards. One of the card holders. There's the train. I have the Pan Am one in the Pan Am notebook. See, I've got 2 of those. One of those, one of those, one of those. I know I've got another one of those. This is just all this stuff in this one pouch. And I know I have more of these things. More inserts that haven't been used. a folder, another zipper pouch with a notebook insert. And I know I have these in mustard. Your TN store would complete Jen. Me with TNs and her with all of her goodies that she has. Yeah. I was looking for some fun dashboards and writing boards to change to, and that's what I keep in here. And I know I have more other places. Well, I guess that is all that I have for today. Is anybody even streaming? Like, I don't even know. Let me pull up Twitch on my tablet. Let's see. It looks like Amanda Rach Lee is on. Does she do, I don't think I follow her. So is Ink Dependence Mike. Today's Tuesday, so I know that Hannah's not on. She's on Wednesdays usually. Celeryman. Oh, she's the one that what's it called? Is handwriting the what are those called? Lord of the Ring books, isn't she, with fountain pens on really nice, like, Tomoe River paper type inserts? Yeah, that's an impressive goal. I don't think I could do that. Get down, Lila. Get down. Get down. I don't know why she wants to jump up here. I guess she wants hugs. I don't know who Eric Dogs is. Eric. Yeah. Do we want to go to Ink? I can never say it. Ink Dependence Mike? Oh, he did your emotes? Ink Dependence did? Or Eric? Is that Eric Draws? Eric Draws? Eric Draws? Eric Draws. Let me search. Eric Draws did your emotes. Is it YK? YCK? Draws. Why don't we go to Eric Draws since he did your... Let's go to Eric Draws. How's that? Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. And I have to ask you this every time, Mrs. G's. How do I do a, what is it, exclamation point? Or a slash? Is it a slash? Raid? Ah, you just did it. There we go. Okay, it looks like we're going to be raiding with 6 raiders. And I want to thank everybody that came and anybody that watches the VOD. How come... let me go to the ending soon. I think I've got the mic on.